Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got to talk about Proposition 50, which is on the ballot on November 4th, this coming election day. And because despite this is probably the biggest proposition this year, as we've covered we're going to be covering a lot of ballot issues the next coming weeks after we analyze those election results, and we'll cover Proposition 50 because this year has been surrounded over redistricting, and when it comes to that redistricting and the consequences of that, and obviously this is a big grift. This is causing the poor Californian taxpayers a lot because we took Texas and we said, we feel justified. We feel it's justified and we feel it's necessary to do redistricting in our state due to the illegal immigration affecting the numbers there and help that undo the census. But Democrats, they hate an even playing field. They're like, oh, wait, hang on. No, we're going to lose 5 seats. We have to fight back. So they call this the Election Rigging Response Act. But this Election Rigging Response Act, quote unquote, is actually rigging an election. Like literally just rigging the 2026 election in favor for Democrats. We do know that California is already a extremely gerrymandered state as it is. Now we're just going to make the representation even worse because we do know Republicans acquire 40% of the vote. There are more Republicans in California than there are Republicans in Minnesota. And then there are Republicans in Alabama. It's just crazy. And how many seats they're getting? How many seats are those Republicans getting? 3 at least. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it doesn't really matter. Democrats, they're going to find out the hard way that, they're just doing this to virtue signal. Gavin Newsom, he doesn't really care about scoring a win for Democrats. He's doing this for his presidential campaign because I have a bridge to sell you. If you all think that Gavin Newsom's not running for president, this guy is definitely running because this guy's going through all the trouble to give Democrats 5 seats in the House. And he's hoping this passes because that's what he's going to run on in the Democratic primaries. Well, I'm a fighter. I fought against Trump. I gave 5 seats for Democrats, yada, yada, yada. I will deliver for Democrats, yada, yada, yada. This is obviously what he's going to campaign on. So if this thing passes, then this pretty much gives District 1, District 3, District 13, this is Young Kim's district. We can... Derek Tran seat's already blue, so we got 4. Well, actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Well, actually, no. We got this, and we'll flip back Ken Calvert's seat. Although I think they should have did Ken Calvert, so they get 4 seats. So that's allegedly, but Republicans can easily come back from this because it's very likely. We have current results going on in North Carolina. We have, of course, you have Don Davis's seat currently being put on the map here on District 1. You also have, let's see, you also have Florida. Oh, yes, and Ohio. Because odds are Ohio, and Democrats can't cry about it. We're going to pick up these 2 seats because that was from the 2024 election results. You got Florida, which you flip District 9, District 20, 23, and it looks like this. Okay? So Republicans still have what it takes. And I'm always saying, hey, look, we need some wiggle room. I'm just saying, hey, if we're going to gerrymander ourselves all the way to 218, that's not fun. That's not fun. And this gives Democrats the ability to say, this wasn't really fair. The Republicans were already starting out on 218. They didn't give us a chance. We need to give Democrats a chance to show us what they got. Okay? Give them a sword. We believe Democrats are that bad that we could beat them with they can go after us with a chainsaw and we can handily beat them. Give them the chainsaw then. If they're that weak, if they're that bad of a political party, then we should let them fight and prove to the American people that they're just the worst political party ever. So I say, you know what? It's not the worst thing to gerrymander ourselves to 218. It's not going to do us any good other than, there's nothing to celebrate from the midterms. Then we won, I guess. Out of everything, we could be underperforming expectations, and we would be moping and groaning over that. So there's that sort of narrative on that also. But when it comes to specific seats in general, there are seats here that aren't colored in. Examples would be Tom Keene's seat and Jen Kiggins' seat. I really do think that Jared Golden's going to lose. And pretty much then and there, you're already close in at 218, 217. I think Henry Cuellar his career is over. And judging if we get Marionette Miller Meeks out next year, we're definitely going to carry John James's seat. So, yeah, we at least pick up 218, 219, whether you call Henry Cuellar's seat. I think it's mostly going to be Republican at this point. But you get 219 at max. I think there's no way for Democrats to honestly win the Senate. To win the House in this case. And not to mention, if the Supreme Court case comes back, Alabama, they go and they redistrict in Alabama and Georgia, Mississippi. They redistrict in Louisiana and in those states. And Republicans will handily win the midterms pretty easily. So, sure, Democrats can do a victory lap this year. I would say, I've always said this year isn't Republicans' year to win. You got 2 blue states on the ballot for the governorship, and that's pretty much it. It's really next year that Republicans need to get excited about. This is kind of the year for Republicans to find recruitments for the Senate races, for the House races, and the governor's races, for those midterm races, and at least try to do good in Virginia, at least try to win New Jersey. Do your best. Not doing your best would specifically be ignoring these races altogether. No, do your best. We are going to review these elections in 2025. I don't care if these are Democrat wins. We need to talk about these states. In regards to Proposition 50, it looks like it's going to pass according to recent polls. You're seeing 62% of polls, and it's because of this word, temporary. Okay? Now, that word sticks out to many people, and it's a big scam, because I'll tell you this, these maps aren't temporary, they're permanent. Because this is how greasy Gavin Newsom works. You put them the word temporary as a way to scam, okay? They're not going to go, do you think the woke, I don't even think this is, this is basically to overturn the redistricting commission. Of course, Democrats aren't going to revert the map back to the original form. No. Give Republicans back those seats? No way. You're probably high on something if you think Democrats would actually do that. So no, the word temporary, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is smart enough to know this. He's saying, nope, that's a lie. This is politics. Don't do it. This is a scam. Don't believe the word temporary. That's put into the ballot measure to literally get people to support this ballot measure. And because of the wording, I do think this ballot measure is going to pass. Yes, redistricting is controversial, and there is going to be a lot of voters that will oppose it, basically on the basics of, just opposing that idea, but of just the idea of gerrymandering, all that stuff. But I do think that overall, the method, the wording, the campaigning, is going to be enough for it to at least, I think it's going to be closer than a gubernatorial race. Do I think this is going to pass by 60%? No. I don't think it's going to be passed by 60%. I'm looking at the endorsements. You got lots of endorsements. Like, there's lots of no's. You got all the Republicans saying no. You got former governors. You got former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, state senators, state reps. You got individual political parties, libertarian parties joining in on this and saying no. You got independents coming in. You got one Democrat, Jesse Perez from Merced County. League of Women Voters originally voted no, supported no, but then became neutral. While you do have most of them, a lot of Democrats supporting this, mostly, obviously, because, you would expect that, because obviously this is, of course, a Democrat power grab. So the big people in the Democrat Party are going to come out and endorse this 100%. But we'll go ahead and do a county prediction for this proposition. And I'm just saying it's going to look a lot like an election. It's going to be a bit more political. I would suggest that it would look a lot like the presidential race. Another example is the current California referendums in 2024. This was about minimum wage. You'll see it can be done. No ended up prevailing. Gavin Newsom took a major L in this. Minimum wage. So I do think that, obviously, I'll say Imperial County votes no on proposition. Yes, Orange County for sure will vote no. It's more aligned with the conservatives in state level elections. Do I think it's going to look like this? No. I think it could look like, I don't know if it would San Diego. San Diego is a little questionable. I'll leave San Diego as of right now, but the coasts, we might give this county, it's a little bit more conservative state races. One West Coast county. Okay. Yes, we'll go ahead and give this one. So, this is what I'm thinking it would look like. San Diego is a little tossed up, but I think it would look something like this. Okay? Yes would win, but I'm expecting no to give a impressive performance. At one point, this no was leading, and Noah has ended up leading and doing decisively pretty well. However, that changed, with the results. but I think we can very well pull. Can we pull this off? I don't know. I mean, there's a chance that this is just response bias. Democrat polling in California. Do you trust it? I don't think I do. I'm looking at the endorsements. There is a lot of energy and momentum in the support. I'm looking at the early voting, 17% up for Republicans, 17%. They're both even match, Democrats and Republicans. There's lots of momentum on both sides. So I'm looking at this. I'm saying, Republicans have lots of momentum when it comes to specifically the California Proposition 50, which so do Democrats, but we would expect Democrats to sweep because of it being politically aligned with California. But this is obviously Republicans are gaining because of you see a lot of, and this will also tell us how we're going to do in the midterms in California. Also, how is this going to resonate? How by district? How well are we going to win by district? And then again, if this passes, I guess it really doesn't matter. But how much votes does the governor get? The opposition, the Republican Party, how much do they get? And that's the other thing. I'm trying to think. Should I give this one? No, we'll go ahead and call this blue. But yeah, I think this is going to be my prediction. So what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.